Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, Chip? What's going on, everybody out there in the XRP epic universe? Man, epic. It is an epic universe. Maybe we forgot to change our clocks. Maybe we didn't.
Maybe we did.
Matt thinks it's an hour before or after the purple ferret when the clocks get ready to change. All right. We got a lot of things that we want to get into because XRP, Trump, and the SEC. The question that everybody wants to know is, will crypto finally get regulatory clarity? And what does the SEC have jurisdiction over? And what do they not have jurisdiction over? That's going to really dictate the future growth of crypto. Right now, it's in the hands of the beholder, mainly because crypto is on its upward trajectory and the government is extremely friendly towards developing this amazing technology. So, man, the sky's the limit, but we got to dig in. We have to workshop it. We have to see exactly what's going on. And more.
Exactly. You have to know exactly what's going on.
Exactly.
Let's roll the open. Let's go. I like that. That's like some. If you're in the morning, it's like a good wake up call, and if you're in Brisbane, like Matt, then it's or the Gold Coast area, wherever you are, it's it's a nice wake up call. Either way,
everyone, give a quick shout out where you're tuning in from, because Rod's tuning in from Scappoose.
Okay, that opening woke me up. See, I told you, whether it's late night or whatever, it's just a little bit of yelling in there. That'll wake anybody up. That'll wake you up, says Chad.
Right.
Chad, remember we hung out with Chad for a couple weekends ago? Yeah, that was awesome.
That was very
Remember that? That was awesome. I remember. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like 2 weeks ago. It was like yesterday, Jeff. I felt like it was so soon.
It does seem like yesterday.
It does feel like yesterday. Well, Jeff, I spent a week in Vegas working. And Vegas is F. I mean, I just don't get Vegas. I don't know why people go there. I don't know why people would want to go there. I don't know why even it's on a map. I know nothing about why it.
Chip, Charles brought this up. He goes, after all these years of you guys doing this, and the one day where they actually finally have the end the lawsuit. Chip's
I know. And I had I had a client dinner, which couldn't break away. Plus the 3-hour time difference messed things up too. That was a whole, but it's meaningless. I said it's meaningless. I don't even care about it. It was meaningless before it happened. It's meaningless after it happened. And the SECs now are power hungry on the other direction. They think we're the SEC. We're the good guys. Now we're going to tell you about the crypto rules. Guess what? You're going to be irrelevant very soon. Because when crypto regulation actually goes through, you'll have this much to do with crypto and nobody will care about you. And that's how it's going to work. It's going to go to the CFTC and you're going to be useless like you've been since the beginning in your founding. So Charles, it's useless. Nobody cares. Everybody knew this was going away. It was a foregone conclusion. There was no surprises. Nobody was like, oh, gasp, I can't believe it. All you had to know is on November, 3rd last year, 2024? Was it November 5th? Whenever the election day was, that's when you knew it was over. That's when we all knew it was over. But some people out there just couldn't stop themselves from talking about it. It's nonsense. And what's even more ridiculous about it, Jeff, is that in 2023, July 13th, 2023, Judge Torres ruled XRP is not a security. It is the only cryptocurrency in the United States that is legal, that is not it's not a security. It's the only one that has legal clarity. So whatever happens with Ripple is completely meaningless because SEC is useless and XRP is not a security. So if Ripple pays a fine, doesn't pay a fine, who cares? Why everybody was so fixated whether Ripple paid a fine or not is beyond me, Jeff. I don't even want to start ranting on this, but it's meaningless. It's stupidity. Oh, Ripple's going to pay a fine. Ripple's got more money than God. Have you checked the escrow lately? Have you checked it? What it's worth? You think they're worried about it? They spent $200 million defending themselves. Ripple is not hard up or hurting for money. They can pull that fine out of their back pocket in 2 seconds. They can wire it. They can send it. It's not a problem. So this is only a Ripple pays a fine. Who cares? I didn't care about it. I'll be honest with you. I'm more concerned about the XRP ledger. I like Ripple quite a bit as a company. I love what they're doing, but it doesn't have anything to do with the XRPL. It doesn't have anything to do with XRP. We had clear rulings, but everyone's running around like, when will Ripple settle? And everyone's like, why did it send the price? Why did it send the price? Well, Jeff, it's pretty simple. We've been talking about it for what, 6 years here?
Yeah.
Because there's no crypto legislation. That's why. And you have the dopey SEC. You have Crypto Mom running around like, look at me, I'm Crypto Mom. Blah, 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 blah. Look at me, I'm Crypto Mom. Blah, blah. You know, now we're better than Gensler because we're making decisions. And we're going to tell you. You know who has the right to make decisions, craft legislation, Jeff? Congress. That's it. That's it. What have we been talking about for 6 years here? Who cares what the SEC? Now they're holding crypto, conferences and get-togethers. Meaningless. I know that Congress was wanting to push the stablecoin first. We've been waiting for 10 plus years for legislation, and they're like, let's focus on the stablecoins, which is crazy to me. I mean, it's insane. It's insane.
Crypto, politics, XRP, dispelling the FOMO and FUD, setting the record straight. This isn't one of your YouTube fanboys. It's raw, unfiltered badassery. If you're standing up, sit down.
Sit down.
This is the Chip Rich. Let's go.
Let's go. Crypto well, Chip's back, survived the trauma. See him on a photograph. Yes, I did see a photograph. Right. And I was not traumatized at all. Not even the least bit. No, it was always cool. It's always cool to see who's behind these mantras here. Of course, Matt. We've hung out with Matt.
And check this out, Michael from Quantum Summit. We met 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, hey Michael, what's up?
Quantum Summit.
From New Jersey. Yeah, good, man. Yeah, it was cool. I always like meeting people in person. It was cool seeing Michael there at the Quantum Summit, which was awesome. New Jersey. That's another big state that's going to flip red.
Wait,
there's a lot of problems over there. Yeah, Scott Pressler's putting all his energy on New Jersey.
The news took the heat off the link to
Yikes. Yeah,
a lot of issues with the whole link to thing.
I watched about about 25 minutes of the show, Jeff, and then I had to run. But I rewatched most of it on the show.
Yeah, I talk mostly about on Wednesday. We talk mostly about the SEC, and then the Brad Garlinghouse video.
Brad Kimes, what the hell?
The Brad Garlinghouse videos, and that was about it.
It is the Garden State. New Jersey's the Garden State, by the way.
How many gardens do they really have in New Jersey?
I don't know, but it's the Garden State. It's like it's a big promise, Jeff. You expect to go there and see gardens everywhere.
It's got to be a highlight.
But people don't realize, and New Jersey is a pretty beautiful state. Like I've been around New Jersey a little bit. People think it's like
it's not bad.
People think New Jersey is Newark. It's not Newark. It's a big state, beautiful state. Great people there. But I don't think people. On the bucket list, of course. Here we go.
When we get over to
Belgium.
Garbage.
Yeah, baby. Stu Alderati put this up. Look at this. He said today, Ripple, this is always not today, but he said Ripple submitted its response to Commissioner Hester Peirce. February 21st statement, there must be some way out of here calling for public input on crypto taxonomy rules. That Dylan lyric continues. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. The prior administration thrived on confusion and masked its failure to follow the law. We urged the SEC Crypto Task Force to stay focused, return to first principles, stay within its statutory bounds, and finally relief. Now, here's another. Now this is what's funny, right?
Clarity.
What's funny is Stu knows. Stu's in the know. Stu knows he's got to write this stupid statement and appease the SEC, the SEC gods. When he knows clear well, it's useless and meaningless. He knows it, but he's got to play the game. We urge the SEC Crypto Task Force to stay focused and remain first principles, to stay within the statutory bounds. Don't do anything stupid because you're power tripping. And he knows.
That's right.
He knows. He does know. Rob Cunningham says, who we also saw at the Quantum. Well, I had a nice conversation with Rob. He wasn't there that long. He was kind of in, did his bit on stage, and then left. This is brilliant in every way, Stuart. U.S. legislation must always originate from elected legislators first and only in a true constitutional republic. Federal Reserve Act of 1913 introduced an invasive, non-governmental, extra-constitutional, foreign domiciled cartel to the body politic of America. It was a fraud. Subsequent establishment of the Securities and Exchange Commission in 1933 flowed from the false premise of constitutional legitimacy existing for the Federal Reserve to exist. SEC confusion gives way to U.S. clarity when the Chevron doctrine is applied to remove the SEC's false agency and unconstitutional law and rulemaking and authority unconstitutionally outsourced by Congress. Reverse and regulatory capture by unaccountable deep state, secretive NGO operatives is imperative to make America great again. And this is why I love Rob Cunningham, because he's spot on right here. This is a spot on, amazing, fantastic statement. He was good on stage. I would have liked to have seen him talk a little bit longer. But if you guys don't follow Rob Cunningham, the cool show, KUWL.show, he's fantastic. And we got to get him on the show. We've been talking about getting him on. I talked about it at the, this Quantum Summit. And I don't know, well, he still hasn't been on the show. We got to get him on. But we got some other guests coming up. Panos is coming back on the show.
Panos would be great to have here. I want to dig in, I want to learn more about what those guys are up to and really the path forward. You're talking about, where we're at from a regulatory perspective. Stu Alderati brought it up. If we go back to 2017, 18, 19, when, you had the Token Taxonomy Act, this was, think about all those years ago, how close we were to legislation that would have put us on the right path. And obviously the powers that were in control of Congress at the time, Maxine Waters, decided they wanted to crush it. And, I find it interesting, though, because that legislation was all about making the amendments to the Securities Act of 33 and 34 and would have made a massive impact. And it was even adjusting tax code. And there's some IRS tax code from 1986 that were really, really key. And that was all built into this Token Taxonomy Act. But I find it interesting, to see who was on board with that, right? You had Warren Davidson, Gottheimer, who was a Democrat who stayed relatively crypto friendly. Darren Soto, we never really heard from again.
No.
Too much crypto legislation after Token Taxonomy. Ted Budd, we heard from, and then Tulsi Gabbard. So, talking about she was already, involved and on the right path, even back in 2019. And there was so much that had to happen. And this is kind of like this is interesting. If we look at what was going on in 2019, this need for regulatory certainty is motivating market players to leave the U.S. for the certainty provided elsewhere. China, meanwhile, has endorsed blockchain tech as essential to its digital economy and emphasized the importance of regulation to a healthy future. In fact, President Xi Jinping has said blockchain is 10 times more important than the internet was. China is currently leading the world with the number of underway blockchain-based projects. And so that was 2019, and a lot had to happen. Here's the Token Taxonomy Act is the key to unlocking blockchain tech in America, said Congressman Warren Davidson. Without it, the U.S. is surrendering its innovative origins and ownership of the digital economy to Europe and Asia. Passing this legislation, Congress would send a powerful message to innovators and investors around the world that the U.S. is the best destination for blockchain tech. So 6 years later, here we are, we're moving in the direction to actually put this all right. I would like to see a resurrection of this kind of legislation again.
Agreed, Jeff.
And put everything back on track. And so if you guys didn't know, if we, just to look at this one part here, because this is important. Again, this is the 117th session of Congress, right? So this was introduced March 8th, not that long, ago, 4 years ago, March 8th, 2021. This was the second time it was introduced. And so here might have been the third time at this point, but here you have to amend the Securities Act of 33, the Securities Exchange Act of 34 to exclude digital tokens from the definition of a security, to direct the Securities Exchange Commission to enact certain regulatory changes regarding digital units secured through public key cryptography, to adjust taxation of virtual currencies held in individual retirement accounts, to create a tax exemption for exchanges of one virtual currency for another, to create a de minimis exemption from taxation for gains realized from the sale or exchange of virtual currency for other than cash and for other purposes. These guys were so far ahead. You know, they knew what they were trying to put together. This would have changed the whole direction. We'd be in a completely different place had the Democrats not stifled and destroyed that legislation. All they gave it zero traction. And at the time, I mean, you think about those years ago, nobody was on board with crypto, and you had a handful. I won't say all Democrats, because at that time, Tulsi Gabbard, Gottheimer, and Soto. Soto was the key author of that. He was the first co-sponsor with Warren Davidson, trying to get that legislation. Got zero traction in committee. Nothing.
It didn't even get a voting committee to go to the floor for a vote, right? It was never going to be, it was never coming out of there.
Nope.
Scotty says it'd be nice to see Byron Donalds use the Make Florida the Crypto Capital of the USA for one of the governor's slogans. He needs to come back on the show. He's got my vote 100% either way. Yeah, I think, what's weird about this thing? So, I recently saw Governor DeSantis was talking about how feckless and useless Congress was, the Republicans. He was calling them out. And I was like, he's so spot on. Like, it's so funny. Like, when he ran for president, he turned into a doofus. And then when he came back to governorship again, he turned into the brilliant guy we know him to be. I don't know. It was something about that national stage. It just didn't work for him. But I think he was just running point cover to get all the Rhino money donated to him so that he could sort of lay low and take the challenge. And then obviously he was always a Trump supporter. So I think this was a diversionary tactic that he was playing. He was playing a patsy, I'm going to run for, and then, against Trump. And meanwhile, all the Rhino money flowed to him and he just basically buried it and evaporated on stage. But his wife, Casey, is also going to run apparently for governor. So that's causing a little bit of turmoil because she wants to run for governor. I don't know that she's all that popular from some of the things she's done and said. Of course, I know she had a battle with cancer, and so a lot of people really, wishing the best for her. But Byron Donalds, through and through, I mean, if he wasn't going to be the VP pick, he definitely deserves to be governor. He'll be a phenomenal governor, maybe even better than DeSantis. But 8 years of him would be unbelievable. And who knows what he rolls into it? He'll be in his late 40s by the time 2 terms ends. I mean, he still can do a run for presidency. So I don't know. I think that there's a lot of opportunity there. I think you're right on, Scotty. Appreciate that. XRP Plumbing says once tokenized real estate becomes the new way, you can kiss all those squatter renter takeovers eliminated. Tokenizing is the best thing for assets. They would have to change some state rule laws in conjunction with that. It won't totally get rid of it. Believe it or not, I don't know how people rent anything in California because you have zero rights. Someone moves into your house, you can't get them out for a couple of years. You're done. Mm-hmm. They just take over and you're pretty much screwed. I love this right here. So Charlie Gasparino, as much as John Deaton has spent time with him, hanging out with him, explained crypto to him, as much as he's had guests on the show talking about XRP, he is clueless about decentralization, he's clueless about all of it. And Brad Garlinghouse called him out. So Garlinghouse, when he posted it, this is it, the moment we've been waiting for, the SEC will drop its appeal. And Brad put this great video up. So Charlie Gasparino said, obviously the question remains about the other part of the case, but it's clear the SEC believes that XRP passes the Ethereum decentralized test as it's trading today. Also for the SEC, how does it square the duo disclosure standards set by Judge Torres? And Garlinghouse, he also got a community note on this, but Garlinghouse said there is no Ethereum decentralization test at the SEC. This is fiction.
Pure
Okay, calls
fiction.
him out. There is, I mean, can you imagine playing into this thing that there's some sort of a decentralized test? By the way, ETH doesn't have any legal clarity, just in case anybody's wondering. We all know that. But let's look at the community note here. Here it is. Well, first of all, the correct spelling is Ethereum, not Ethereum. So we called them on the spelling. More importantly, the Ethereum decentralized test refers to William Himmon's 2018 speech suggesting sufficiently decentralized networks may not be securities, but it's not a formal illegal test.
Correct.
It's not doctrine.
It's not like the Howey test.
No.
I mean, orange juice test. The Howey test.
The orange. Well, it's the same thing, Jeff. The Howey, the oranges, all that stuff. So I found that funny that Brad Garlinghouse had to check him. It's speaking about tokenized real estate. Emi Ishikawa, who used to be with Ripple, she's since left, but she said major Japanese real estate company Open House now accepts XRP for property purchases in Japan. So when that bull run hits, you can just simply buy a property through Open House in Japan, and here it is right here. The Open House Group boasts a diverse portfolio, primarily centered in Tokyo, Nagoya, Osaka, and Fukuoka, ranging from residential houses and condos to investment properties like studio condominiums and office buildings. The company integrated business model development, sales, and management allows for the provision of various solutions to clients. Additionally, Open House companies manage resort properties and U.S. real estate, providing clients with consultation on all aspects of property research, construction, sales, and future resale, and a one-stop service. Here's their Open House Group right here, your trusted partner for Japanese real estate. If you're looking to invest in real estate, find enticing properties, here we are. Appeal of the Japanese real estate market goes on to tell you about that. A wide variety of property types are available. Look at how beautiful that looks, Jeff. Look at those.
Awesome.
That's incredible. Talks a little bit about who they are. Here's the advantage. Property search recommendation, contracts, multiple currency payment types, and property management. But how cool is that? You imagine like bull run takes off. You're like, yeah, I always love Japan. I want to buy a property. You can buy it with XRP. This is phenomenal. This is a huge, huge deal. So, vacation homes, resort hotels, primary residences. Look at the cities, major cities they're in. It's insane. Here's some of the properties look like. Commercial real estate, condominiums, beautiful. So I thought that was a pretty stunning development, and we'll probably see more of that. I would imagine at some point. This is interesting. I think you're going to find this one interesting, Jeff. Look at this. So Ellie Tarrant put this out. She's since left. She's no longer working with Fox News and Charlie Gasparino. She said state legislators urge Elizabeth Warren, Democrat leaders to pass regulatory framework.
Yep.
How amazing is this? And so she has this new letter. Her podcast is Crypto in America. And did I somehow miss the...
Who is it? Whose podcast is it?
Ellie Tarrant. She left Fox. She left Fox News. And
she did. Oh man,
dude,
when did all that happen? Yesterday?
No, 2 shows ago, Joe. We covered.
Oh man, yeah,
we covered it, Jeff. Come on,
we did cover
it. It's called Crypto in America.
So much, I kind of
Crypto in America. And then she also has this this newsletter here. I don't know what platform this is. What is this platform? I don't know, but this is. Yeah, so she puts out a Friday edition every week, and Friday morning, Maryland delegate Adrian Bofo and New York Assemblyman Clyde Vannell sent a joint letter to Democrat congressional leaders using the creation of a federal framework to bolster state-level cryptocurrency regulations. The letter addressed to Senator Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar, as well as Representatives Maxine Waters, good luck there, and Angie Craig, and highlights a rapid advancement of state. Now, if we look up both of these people, I think Adrian Bofo and Clyde Vannell, I think they're both Democrats. And what's interesting is they're from really deep blue states. Maryland is a deep blue state. Maryland has, everybody's Democrat there with the governor on down, the same as New York. And it's weird because you also have an assemblyman, which is interesting as well. But the fact that you have some Democrats that are sending this type of letter, is really a positive development, because it's really the first time we've heard. And Jeff, you were just covering the fact that going back 4 or 5 years, we had Democrats who were authoring bills or like putting legislation forward, sponsoring, and we haven't heard a lot of that. So it says at least 35 states have introduced cryptocurrency regulated legislation ranging from legal recognition of digital assets to outright restrictions, the letter stated. Without federal action, the fragmented approach will only grow, creating uncertainty for businesses and limiting financial opportunities for millions of America. The letter, first reported by Crypto in America, comes as Republican leaders are working feverishly to pass legislation around payment stablecoins and a market structure bill at the request of President Trump, who said Thursday that the U.S. would dominate crypto and the next generation of financial technologies. And while more Democrats have been voting in favor of crypto policies, this Congress, Bofo and Van Aller, are concerned the agendas of entrenched crypto skeptics like Warren and Waters could hamstring bipartisan efforts to get. So this is interesting. Jeff, what do you think about the fact you got two people inside the Democratic Party that are wanting to police some of the biggest haters? Klobuchar is on board because she's pro crypto, but with Warren and Waters, what are your thoughts on that?
So I think overall we're starting to see some of the more centrist Democrats are finally coming out, and they're willing to speak out a little bit more passionately about things. Before, I mean, you go back to like a Darren Soto and Gottheimer in the beginning, right? 19, 20, 21. There were a few other Democrats that signed on to the bipartisan crypto legislation with Congressman Warren Davidson. Then under Biden, it was quiet, right? Just nothingness, right? For the most part, you didn't hear a lot from them because they were afraid to step outside of the line. Some did, right? RFK, Tulsi Gabbard, and others that had become ostracized. Some who I'm surprised haven't been ostracized yet, like Fetterman and some of the others. But now today, they're now free to say what they want again because they're not, terrified of all the DEI nonsense. So there are a lot of different elements to why they're willing to speak up. Plus, now we're heading back in a direction of American excellence, of this passion for innovation again, and so they want to be on board with that as well. They want to be on board with that kind of passion, and that's why Scotty says, "I bet dimes to donuts all those senators took SBF FTX money." There's connection. I mean, you already know that many of them did. We can go down the list of who he donated to, and it was a lot of money. We need this to get to Laura Loomer. At least she got balls to investigate. She did a lot. It was pretty amazing, what she dug up. But now, as you look at like Maxine Waters and Pocahontas and the rest of them, the negativity, at least Maxine Waters didn't really say anything about crypto. She just didn't give it the time of day. Right. So it was just complete silence, from her side when she was chair of the Financial Services Committee, so a lot of different elements to all of that. But I just wanted to play a quick commercial break here. 2 seconds, 30 seconds, 28 seconds, but I think you guys might enjoy it.
Win a badass Yeti from Blue Tribe. What's the word of the day, Yeti? Get your song and wallet ready, because this one's gonna be epic. Get ready to claim your own legendary Blue Tribe Yeti of the clan Mentalist. His name is Finn Vigard. Let's go on the chain. Badass Yetis.
Wow. These promos keep getting better and better, man.
I like
We've
that.
got 14 entries in there, 14 entries so far. So, guys, we're going to win. We're going to do a drawing a little earlier. Jeff has to depart. And actually, we should do it right now, Jeff.
We should do it. Yeah.
Let's do it right now.
I got to.
Your time is coming. You got to get out of here in
That's right.
10 minutes. Something.
That's right. How many do we have in?
We only have 16, guys. So you have a really good chance of winning today.
Yetis. What's a word is
Yeti?
The Yeti.
The Yeti. What's your mother? What's your Yeti mother?
On the Yetis, you guys know the drill. Have your Zaman wallet ready for the Yeti.
Maxine Waters gave us Bitcom. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember Bitcom?
Bitcom.
They'll laugh at responding to Doge what they think they might find on us. Yeah, the ones that are yelling the loudest, wait till they start tracing the payments. They're all going to jail.
Right.
That's
Oh,
fantastic. Warren is like, I've never seen anybody more nervous in my life. Where'd that $60 million come from? You know, when Trump's asking where the kickbacks, I wonder who's getting kickbacks. They're asking the question. They already know.
They know.
So it's going to be what a phenomenal year. 4 years of winning it will be. Let's go into
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started. Gonna burn it all down. Bring the whole disease temple down on their head, Jeff. That's what we're doing.
All right, here we go. Time to do a drawing.
Oh,
How many do we have in?
Wait, that was the wrong screen I just showed. How did I do that? Let's see. Let's share the right screen this time. The Yeti. Here we go. We got 20 in here, guys, and here we go. Last chance for the win. Ready, guys? Let's go.
Yep. Let's go.
Doom. Boom, Charles.
Look at that.
Today.
Charles
Bam.
wins. Look at you.
Charles
Look at that.
Tomarello.
Charles.
Big
Charles
winner,
is the
Charles.
Winner. Where is Charles? Is Charles here? I'm sure Charles is still here, but is he here?
Oh, Chad says it's rigged. Congratulations. Congrats, Charles. We got to hear from Charles. Come on, dude. He's still here? He's probably he's getting his wallet. Huzzah.
I got to go
You
into
can call shenanigans. Yeti. Jim, you're late to the Yeti dance, Jim. Jim D. Jim D's a little bit late there. What is going on, man? I didn't see your name pop up there. Oh, he's here. I am here, says Crypto. Well, I am here. We are here. So are you getting your wallet? What's going on, dude? Charles, you still here? What's up, man?
Then we go to the regular YouTube. Meanwhile, he's probably chatting with us and we don't see it.
Yeah, that could be part of it. Part of it could be the problem, for sure.
I'm sure everyone else would be like, we see it. It's there. It's not there. It's there. It's not there.
Yeah, we don't see anything. Hey, while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about this story here.
I don't see it. Everybody else is there, but there's no Charles. That's going to really suck for Charles.
Charles, you have to say I'm here. Otherwise, we're going to have to do another drawing, man. I hate to do that. No. Jed McCaleb. You know who Jed McCaleb is? The original, one of the original founders on the whole XRPL, who then moved over and founded his own company called, uses XLM. So Jed McCaleb says he's prepared to lose a big chunk of his fortune on an ambitious quest to build the world's first commercial space station. So Jed wants to be an Elon Musk.
Great.
How do I not feel like this is going to go well? I don't know. One man's crypto windfall is funding a $1 billion space station dream. Yeah, you know what he's funding it with? His XRP fortune.
That's right.
That he took out. Chris Larson chimed in and said, "This is a big, bold vision by Jed McCaleb. America used to pursue new frontiers like this before skidding into bureaucracy and doubt." Yeah, let me translate that for you. Before going off the rails on a crazy train with the leftists called the Democrat Party, which you are a big member of, Chris, and endorsed. I mean, if you endorse Kamala Harris, dude, I'm sorry. And then he's like, before skidding into bureaucracy and doubt. Okay. Now you're going to be critical. I'm rooting for vast success. Well, I'm rooting for it too. Here it is right here. I'll go ahead and give him a follow. Vast, building the next generation space stations. This is something I didn't know we needed to do, Jeff. Build a station that was commercial.
Well, hey, I guess we got to roll again. There's no Charles.
Charles is going to be really bummed.
I got to leave.
All right.
That really sucks.
What are you going to do? Let me go ahead and let's roll it again. Share screen. And I'm sorry, man. We're going to get another winner here. Let's go. Draw again. Bam. Here we go. We got 19 in right now. There we go. Tick, 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 tick. Who will it be? Who will it be? Boom. Ray Run wins today. Justin was that close. It was that close. They always get you with the like, oh, maybe it's Justin. No, it's Ray Run. Ray Run, are you here? Ray Run is here. Of course he is. There he is right there.
Ray Run here.
Ray Run. Ray Run is right there. Come on, Ray. Come on now. See, he told us he was here. That was before.
Matt says Charles is here. Charles showed up. Where is Charles?
Well, he didn't show up in time, man, because we had to choose another one.
Let me see where Charles. Oh, I see Charles. Charles is here.
Well,
And now Ray Run's not here. So, Charles, I got to leave in
here.
1 minute. So we need a wallet.
Says he dropped the wallet.
I don't see it. I'm in the live chat. Let me look through here. Nope. I'm looking. I said, where are you? YouTube might have blocked it.
I don't know.
We got to give it to Charles. Charles is here. Ray's not here. But there's no wallet. I see no wallet in the chat. Zaman. He spelled it out. It's funny. I don't see everybody in the chat. Wonder if YouTube's blocking stuff. It's weird. Oh, there it is. It's weird. I see Charles's. He put it there. All right. So it's there, but it's not there. That's really crazy.
Yeah.
YouTube blocked it. I can see it on our side. So let me dig into another way. Let me go to the top chat. There it is. I see Ray's in there too. And Charles.
I don't know what's going on.
Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do.
What are we going to do, Jeff?
This is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. This one's going out to Charles.
All right.
And then, oh, shoot. Hang on a minute.
Hang on a minute now. Hey, now.
I can't make the transfer. My phone isn't here. I'll be right back.
Okay, so while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. Someone brought this up in the chat that Jeremy Hogan was leaving X. It sounds to me like he's saying, "Dear friends, my time on X has come to an end. Had no idea that when I saw the article about Ripple lawsuit back in Christmas of 2020, yes, that long ago, that it was the Christmas gift that would take me to places I never imagined. Thank you for going on the journey with me, for trusting me through it all. I am proud that I saw it through to the end and did my best to keep you informed and hopefully a little entertained. Now it's time for me to focus on other things. Maybe some new adventure. If you ever need me, come find me. I wish all of you the best in life. Find yourself a good woman if you haven't already. Hold her tight. That's my final advice. Well, at last, dear friends, from the shores of the sea comes the end of our fellowship in Middle Earth. Go in peace, Gandalf. So there you go. There's
Gandalf the White.
There's Jeremy Hogan.
The gray.
We had the pleasure of hanging out with him and meeting him, and it was a lot of fun. It says it's time on X. He's just not going to spend time on X anymore. He's probably going to just focus on his family. And
it is gone. There you go.
So where did that go to?
That one went to Charles.
Okay, what about the other one?
Now. Documented though.
Now.
Document Charles.
Please document it, Jeff. I want to make sure that is documented.
It's going to be a crazy day because the next one is going to Ray Run.
We did two.
Giving away 2 today. That's
amazing. No, we're not going to have anybody leave not happy today.
Ray Run. Let me grab his. Let me see. And then I'm going to pull up which one we're going to roll with. Boom. Get in the Ray Run.
Ray Run, baby.
Now which number? So 434 just went to Charles. Make sure you claim that bad boy. That was a nice one. And now we are going to pick out.
Who's getting one today, Jeff? Who is going to win?
Ray Run.
What's Ray going to get? Which one is Ray going to get? Picking it out right now?
Picking it out right now.
All right.
Ray Run.
Before you do that, look at this right here.
Get this bad boy right here.
David Schwartz thought this was a great sticker. See this, Jeff? Only you can prevent forest fires. That's Smokey the Bear. And then at the bottom it says, seriously, we've just been defunded. It's just you now. I don't know if Smokey the Bear ever prevented any forest fires. He's been around for a while talking about forest fires. And meanwhile, there's been more forest fires than ever. So I think Smokey the Bear got fired.
Look at that one. That one's going to Ray Run.
Ooh, all right.
Get ready, Ray. 2 mentalists in one day. That is crazy. I can't believe we just did that.
What's the name on that mentalist?
This mentalist is Scolder.
It can't be Scolder. We already gave away Scolder the other day.
It's a different Scolder.
Oh, you're not supposed to have duplicate names. I don't know how that slipped through.
Well, it's spelled differently.
Oh, it's spelled differently. Okay.
Yeah.
Different spelling. Well, that makes sense.
Different spelling.
So I'm like, we don't have any that are the same.
So here we go. Ray, hopefully you're ready for this one. This one is coming at you.
Coming at you. Ali Tarrant reports on crypto derivatives exchange Bitnomial has officially launched the first CFTC regulated, the only thing that matters, CFTC regulated XRP futures product. Bitnomial's physical settled XRP/USD futures are now trade with real asset delivery, strong price discovery, full CFTC regulation and compliance.
Ray is now the proud owner. Charles is the proud owner.
Look at that, guys. Everybody leaves happy. 2 people leave happy today.
2 people, 431 and 434 are out the door.
2 out of 20. That's pretty good odds right there. So this is pretty cool. CFTC, baby. You see that? They've been defunded, Jeff.
They have been defunded.
Only you can prevent forest fires. Seriously, we've been defunded. It's just you now. It always has been us, Jeff.
That's it. Just us.
It has said that only you could prevent them.
That's right. I remember.
So this doesn't make sense. Of course it's been us.
Yeah. All right. I'm out. I got to leave.
All right, man.
Check you out on the next one.
See you on tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Miami Open. We got, Jeff said it to the Miami Open. Yay, Miami Open. So, here we go. Here we go. I thought that was Smokey the Bear. What the heck is that? My God, is that something? Only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah, I remember that was the 1970s commercial here. Holy cow. All right, let's see what this is all about. If you guys don't live outside the United States, you probably don't know who Smokey the Bear is. And it's not really all that relevant, to be honest with you, but let's go ahead and share it anyway. This was a 1970s commercial here, apparently. Let's go to here and let's make sure you guys, if you guys don't hear audio, let me know, but you should be able to hear audio. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. You guys hear audio? Do you hear it? Do you hear something there? Please tell me you hear audio. Please tell me. Please tell me. Charles, thanks for the support. Appreciate that. Of course, you're welcome for the Yeti. I'm glad you ended up claiming it because you're always here. And it was weird that we didn't hear from you, but it must have just been a mix-up there. So we gave away 2 Yetis today. Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. But look at this right here. Thanks for the stream. Have a good weekend. We're not even I'm still going, dude. What are you checking off for? Just Jeff's gone. I'm still here. What are you thinking, guys? Come on. Come on now. I'm here. Okay, there we go. Hear audio. Good. Thanks. Okay, great. Let's play the rest of it. But this is a Smokey the Bear commercial, and apparently Smokey the Bear has been defunded.
We ought to remind our parents not to do those same old silly things every year, like starting forest fires.
Smokey says, drown out your campfire. Stir the ashes and drown it out again.
Smokey has a big black nose, and when he sees a fire, he comes running up and blows it out.
He blows the fire out.
Smokey the Bear is 181 years old. Only I could prevent a forest fire.
I was wondering if they could get kids to actually enunciate and speak the language. I'm like, what are these kids saying? I'm like, I barely can understand what the hell the kids. What the hell?
Smokey the Bear because he likes Batman.
You see, it's just like this. He don't go play with matches.
It's a pretty good way to like Smokey the Bear because he likes Batman. I'm Batman.
Right? Smokey says, when you go camping, take some water along so you can drown your campfire and so you won't get thirsty.
Parents who smoke cigarettes shouldn't throw them away in the woods.
I love Smokey, Bill.
I'm gonna buy Smokey a present because he loves me. Smokey, I'll buy you a present.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires.
What the hell? All right, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. What are you gonna do? It sounded like it was a good idea in the time, but my gosh, I don't know what the hell those kids were saying, to be honest with you. Yeah, man. You're welcome, Ray. Yeah, thank you for showing up. Appreciate that. This is look for the Mitch Hedberg bit. Yeah, Mitch was a great comedian. Gosh, he was fantastic. Smacky the Frog, gotta check that out. I don't remember that one, but interesting enough. USAID ID, stop Yogi the Bear, free picnic baskets too. Guys are killing it today, man. Killing it. Tell Senator Warren to quit sending smoke signals. Man, holy cow. Let's see what else we got here. Let me yeah, I just want to show this one here. This one is Cointelegraph new. The SEC confirms that Bitcoin and proof of work mining are not considered securities under US law. The decision provides long-awaited. It's so funny. Like, again, the SEC. Oh, thank you, SEC, for confirming that Bitcoin and proof of work mining is not considered securities. Thank you very much, but we will wait for legislation because we don't care. That's exactly how it works. Is that how it works? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Okay, what else we got here? What else? Oh, this is kind of cool news right here. We've got Wietse Wind, who is wait a minute, hang on a second here. What in the oh man, what is going on here with all these controls? Why? Here we go. There we go. So Wietse Wind, who is crafted the Zom network, but also the Zalman wallet, which is pretty cool. And he's done a bunch of stuff. He's being very lighthearted in his bio there, but super excited about this one, something completely unrelated to finance, leveraging Zahao network. Blockchain is awesome technology for public permissionless read-write networks. And there's so many use cases not related to finance at all, more disruption, less regulation. He goes on to say that a transaction can be anything. It can be a transaction of value in the direct financial sense, but what if it has value in small amounts of data for everyone to read, like a flag or a signal? And what if those little packets of data in turn result in other sort of financial transactions? I'll be joining a new startup as co-founder, CTO, to focus exactly on this, disrupting traditional markets, still using my favorite blockchain tool, still building with Zalman Wallet at XRP Labs, but putting everything to use in a completely different industry as well. This is pretty exciting news. Of course, I said congrats. Got a big old thank you there. Really happy about that. I don't know you have time for, but you're the man. Yeah, I don't know either, but having fun makes it easier. There's only one thing I can tell you. Please enjoy the time building it. Moonchaser, all the best with the new startup, Wietse. Congratulations, Wietse from Rose. Crypto Siege says, very cool. Lambo Apes, cool. All in on it. Dirk says, yes, beautiful. So it's good, man. It's good to see Wietse do something different. I'm excited to see more and learn more about what this startup's all about. Some other information and news from Ellie Terra in the wake of the SEC agreeing to drop its appeal against Ripple. Crypto derivatives exchange Bitnomial plans to drop its own lawsuit against the Wall Street's top cop after suing the agency in October over its claim that it has jurisdictions over Bitnomial's planned XRP futures contract. Additionally, Bitnomial will officially launch, which they have. They've already officially launched, but they're going to drop a lawsuit because, again, no longer relevant. Gensler's left the building, and nobody cares anymore. But the SEC's still attempting to stay somewhat relevant. Somebody I like to follow on Twitter or X, I should say, Gad Sad, had some unsolicited advice to Pierre Poilievre, who is going to be running in the election against Mark Carney in the fall in Canada. But he gave him some unsolicited advice. He said, fence sitters do not shape history. Bold honey badgers do. Donald Trump won the U.S. presidency twice because he does not give an F. Elon Musk, the greatest entrepreneur and technologist, because he does not give an F. Joe Rogan, greatest podcaster, because he does not give an F. They do not equivocate. They do not listen to consultants. They don't play it safe. They see a trajectory and they move forward fearlessly with organic authenticity. You have stolen defeat from the jaws of victory because you too are being measured and tepid. Get out there. Don't play it safe. Signal to the Canadians that you will be a cataclysmic agent of change to restore Canada to its former glory. This includes stopping mass immigration, deporting people who do not share Canadian values, reducing Canadians' tax burden by a sizable amount, rejecting the welfare state. Stop equivocating. Be bold. Be a honey badger. Best of luck in the upcoming election. This is someone who now lives in the U.S., but is is obviously a Canadian at heart because he grew up in Canada. But I thought it was right on, spot on. What do you guys think? Is this good advice? I think I love what Pierre is doing, but he does feel a little bit measured in some ways. But I do think that I don't necessarily know that I see him playing it safe because I do see him speaking out boldly. But I don't know. I think it's good advice. Doing status quo stuff doesn't win elections. You have to be bold. You have to be out there. And then if you guys know Bill Burr used to be a really funny comedian, and he ended up becoming a weird leftist, not funny dude anymore. Even his comedy's become really kind of stale. But God said, had some advice for Bill Burr too. Dear Bill Burr, I personally know Elon Musk because Bill Burr's been ranking on Elon Musk lately. If you'd like, I can explore with Elon the possibility of how to grow a spine and testicles in the lab, subsequent to which we can offer you those transplant services for free. Please let me know if this is something that might interest you. In the meantime, I hope you return on Rogan's show to make fun of my name. That was truly hilarious bit that only comedic genius could come up with. Go Bill. Yeah, so he's taking a good piss out of Bill Burr. I thought that was pretty spot on and funny. What else do we have here for you guys today as we wind it down? We do have a couple videos that we did archive, or at least have ready. I love this one. Let's go with we'll play those tomorrow night. Let's go to we'll do those tomorrow. Let's go with this one's pretty good. This was David Schwartz and the Switch in light of the recent Ripple news with the SEC. This is a good one, but let's play this one again.
And regularly interacts with industry for future regulation. That conversation is helping the UK be a leader in the market. We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Look at that, huh? Flip that switch. Flip it. Damn right, flip that switch. Like that video. That's a pretty, it's an oldie, but a good one. An oldie, but a goldie, or whatever they say. Oldie but goodie, whatever they say. Somebody says something. I don't know. And this one too, I thought was interesting too. Let's take a look at what Reagan said. Let's look at what Trump did. Two different iconic figures. And like I've always said that even Trump's first term was far more conservative than Reagan's 8 years. Reagan wanted to cut the size of government, which he did to a large degree. However, by the time he left office, it was larger than when he came into office. So it's like, kind of missed the boat a little bit there. But let's look at the contrast between Ronald Reagan and Donald J. Trump.
I would like to dissolve the $10 billion National Department of Education created by President Carter and turn schools back to the local school districts where we built the greatest public school system the world has ever seen. Boom. I think I can make a case that the decline in the quality of public education began when federal aid became federal interference.
He's exactly right.
Okay.
He'd be proud of you.
There you go. He would be proud, right? So there you saw when Ronald Reagan was running for president, 1979 to 2025. That's how long it took to actually dissolve the Department of Education. Now you see people like Elizabeth Warren running around, shooting them out. This means the kids don't have education. Kids are going to be left behind, blah, blah, blah. Well, every year since the Department of Education was founded, when it was written into law by Jimmy Carter, the test scores have dropped. So from what was that, 78, 79, it's dropped every year since. So exactly what are we waiting for this so-called Department of Education? The amount of money that is funded every year, most of it goes to the bureaucracy. Very little of it went back to school districts. What Trump wants to do is disperse that money evenly back to the states and let the states decide exactly how education is going to work in their state. What does that mean? That means that the leftist states will keep teaching the same damn garbage. And it means the more conservative states will start teaching history again and start educating people and start having math and having a merit-based system and not be trying to dumb the kids down. Look, you show up, you do well, you're supposed to learn, you're supposed to be able to read and write. There's kids graduating high school that can't read or write. That's not education. That is absolutely just garbage. And that's what the Department of Education was delivering. So it's amazing that from what Reagan wanted to do, he probably didn't have the cooperation. Back then, too, probably was a little bit more difficult to push it through. But you can see, as Gad said, had mentioned earlier, Trump doesn't give an F. He wants to do what's best for the country. People want to complain and cry about it. They want but Elon Musk is the fake president and this and that. Well, no. I mean, the funny thing is here's Elon Musk, who's put his Tesla stock has taken a beating. He's doing the job for free. He's rooting out all the evil. All these payments. I saw Pete Hegseth said they got rid of $500 billion in contracts that were garbage. I mean, the amount of savings, we're $38 trillion in debt here in the United States. And the people that are, and everyone from Obama back to Clinton, even Biden in those days, not so much in his last administration, but they're all on video talking about we need to get rid of a third of the government. We need to cut it back. They were all in favor of it. But now, since Trump's doing it, orange man bad again. We reverted back to this nastiness again, which is absolutely insane. Right? Teach them about finance. Teach them about cryptocurrency. Teach them how to, there used to be a time when you taught this. You're teaching how math relates directly. Don't be fooled. Twitter's garbage. Well, it's called X, but it's been X for over a year now, so maybe you need to catch up. And civics as well. Correct. Absolutely. That's exactly what we need to do. We have to, time moves on. And the funny thing is, I could probably pull it up, but I went back and forth with the leftists where I had talked about that, I responded to Elizabeth Warren and I had said something to the effect of well, maybe you should spend some time reading the Constitution because the founders always wanted, the vision was always to return the power back to the states. Federal law would always trump state law, but the federal law was to protect for the common good, the defense, right? Defense of the borders. It was supposed to be this very small sort of overarching, but it became so big and out of control. But the whole idea of the United States was supposed to be one of decentralization, right? The states could write their own laws. They could have their own legislators, right? They've got a governor, a lieutenant governor. It works like a president and vice president. And then they've got a Congress. Each state has a Congress. So in Florida, you have this, the House and you have the Senate, the same thing. But you have your state senators, your state House representatives, and you have national. But the idea was sort of this idea of early decentralization where the power would flow back to the states, which is why you don't need a lot of national law, because depending on what the states want to do, the states can enact stuff. For example, in Florida, we don't have there's no state tax. So state income tax, and other states like Georgia and New York, California is outrageous, 12%. So in addition to paying federal taxes, you also have to pay taxes to the state on top of goods and services tax, which can be anywhere from 8 to 12 to 14% in California, New York. Where in Florida it's 6.5%, and other counties it can be 7%. But it's, you know, that compared to not having a state income tax, it's a big lift. And you see a lot of pro athletes define their home as Florida too, or if you move to Florida and you're getting a $100 million contract, do the math. No state tax, where if you live in New York, you're paying from 8 to 12%. Well, that's $8 to $12 million on a $100 million contract. So you can see that it's an instant raise money wise. So it's sort of a big deal. And I love the fact that the Department of Education, they laid off half the people, then they disbanded it. Great. Let's put the power back to the states, and let's have the people in those states decide exactly how education is going to go. That's what the founders intended. When I was going back and forth with some of these leftists saying, you've never read the Constitution. Well, then I had to get the Constitution out, tell them about the 10th Amendment, explain to how the founders were. These people they always want to like throw bombs, but they can't back it up. Great, I'll pull it out for you if you want me to. And I said, the onus is on you. I go, why don't you read the Constitution? You're a joke, ha ha ha. And then when I pull out the actual bits of the Constitution that talk about the states, silence, crickets. You never hear from these people again because their feelings, my feelings, I can just talk about the talking points. They love to be controlled. They love to be told what to do and what to think all the time. That they've got nothing, zero game, zero ideas. That's who they are. So here is a press conference with Trump. He was asked about the 2 stranded astronauts, and interestingly enough, they were supposed to be up there for 8 days. And Elon Musk was supposed to go get them months ago. However, at the time, President Biden didn't want it to look like a Trump ally was saving the astronauts. That's how petty it was. So they obviously waited, and then he went up and rescued the 2 astronauts. But somebody's asked him about the pay that the astronauts received, and here's his response.
The 2 astronauts that you just helped save from space, they didn't get any overtime pay for all that extra time. They got $5 a day per diem. For 286 days, that is $1,430 in extra pay. Is there anything the administration can do to make them whole?
Well, nobody's ever mentioned this to me. If I have to, I'll pay it out of my own pocket. Okay? I'll get it for you.
So he's like, can you imagine? They got $5 extra a day. Okay, astronauts, you get to go up to the space station. You're only going to be there 8 days. 9th day, you'll be home, sleeping in your own bed. Oh, but you were up there for over a year or whatever it was. 200 plus days, not quite a year. And you're going to get 5 days per diem a day for each extra day. That is some silly conversation right there. Trump said he would take it out of his own pocket if he had to get him paid, which is noble. I mean, I think that's pretty interesting. I don't know how they'll get paid. I don't know if that's actually accurate. Be good to know. It seems like $5 a day for an astronaut. Something seems a little bit off there. But I guess that's overtime pay. Maybe they get, what he was saying was they don't really get overtime. They get $5 a day per diem. So they were getting paid, but probably not what was expected. And then we have this one here. So now this is obviously parody. You guys have seen all the JD Vance memes going around for some reason, and it wasn't even the leftists doing it. It was the conservatives posting the memes. It got out of control to the point of where my whole feed for like a week and a half was all JD Vance, memes. But this is Trump talking with Laura Ingraham, and he's going to unveil something. Of course, what's really there is something different than what's shown, but this is epic in the sense, if you think about it, and the awesome JD Vance meme token. Here it is.
For many, many decades, and they said we have to do something like drapes or something because the light eventually affects it. And it's very cool. Oh my gosh. Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday. Wow. Think Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it? Do you think he knows what it is?
So obviously they replaced it with the JD Vance meme. That's pretty funny. And it's flawless too. It really looks believable, like it's up there. I thought that was pretty good. So look at this. CryptoWeb says we'll go up there for $3 a day. I'm going to go for free. I'll raise your $3 to free. Previous administration was so petty, leaving the astronauts up there so Elon and Trump, by extension, could not have a win. It's, yeah, can you imagine being that petty? It's just silly, man. It's like, in this day and age, just stay up there a little bit longer. Don't worry about that. Yeah, Boeing should have paid to get them, since Boeing couldn't, since they were the ones that had the issues. But do you think they felt better going down on a Elon Musk rocket? Or do you think they would have felt a little iffy if Boeing says, "Oh no, don't worry, we got this. We're good. We figured it out. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it." So I thought that was pretty interesting. What else do we have in the grab bag here? Maybe one or two things. We'll get out of here. Here we go. Ayn Rand, who obviously a great author and stuff, but this is 1970s Ayn Rand talking about universities, which is, if you think about it, I mean, she's so spot on in this clip here that I think at the time, if you see the guy that's interviewing, you might recognize him. But the funny part about it is he's almost like perplexed. Like, whoa, what do you mean? Like, wait, what are you saying? And of course, Ayn Rand's going on about, talking about the universities and what they're teaching. And this is in the 1970s, right? Totally, absolutely, spot on about it. If you guys have ever read Atlas Shrugged, that's one of the books she's authored, which is fantastic. But she's an amazing talent. But here we go. What's this guy's last name? Tom something. Tom, you guys will have it in the chat. But here we go.
Dangerous thing in this country today are the universities, because they're teaching the kind of ideas that would necessarily have to lead to the destruction of this country. Institutions from Harvard on down are preaching collectivism, mysticism, and above all, altruism, self-sacrifice of yourself, the giving up, the resignation.
Can you be a little bit more specific? I've never been to Harvard. I've never been to class there, but can you give me an example?
That's your advantage.
Oh, thank you. Of how they are teaching sacrifice, how they are teaching altruism?
Open daily paper and look at Mr. Carter, a very peculiar creature, who is telling you that we're going to overcome the oil shortage by driving less, by giving up. Let us all make a sacrifice. Let's lower our standard of living, and we'll all be living better. Now, is that a proper philosophy to tell a country that has pride and self-esteem, a Harvard that would be preaching American ideas, more specifically, reason, individualism, capitalism? If they were doing that, you could have the biggest renaissance in the world, still not too late even now. You could have a better renaissance than the first one. This country would come back to life.
Now that's prophetic, right? What she's talking about is what's happening now. So interestingly enough, she also drops Jimmy Carter's name there. When, Jimmy Carter just passed away, worst president ever, except for the fact that Biden probably eclipsed that. But Jimmy Carter was a disaster as a president. And we saw the Department of Education, one of the big wins, that's gone. So, and brought on massive amounts of inflation and just a car wreck all the way around. Like later in his life, he tried to do the best thing he could, trying to help people, countries and stuff. But at his heart, he was still, leftist. But at least towards, after his presidency, he tried to do some good in the world. Remains to be seen whether people think he accomplished that or not. But at least I think that was there in his heart. He always felt like he was doing the best, but a disaster as a president. So absolutely brilliant woman. Absolutely. Anything you can get on Ayn Rand, read it. It's fantastic. Atlas Shrugged, great book. But if I've consumed almost every interview I could find, every once in a while I'll find a new one. And thanks for that, Chad, for the Tom Snyder. That's who it was. Couldn't remember his last name, but Tom Snyder, that was his name. XRP Plumbing, Woodrow Wilson, the worst president. He's the one that started the nightmare of the Federal Reserve. Yeah, you're right. Okay, worse because of the laws. We'll have to throw him in the mix as well. Maybe recent presidents will put Carter and Biden, but you're right. The fact that the whole Federal Reserve, pushing that through in 1913, the way that went down, the way the Federal Reserve, the IRS, you're right. We've been living under tyranny this whole entire time. But if you see why people are so worried about the tariffs, look at it this way. You've got the tariffs, which will replace the income tax, right? So you start with 100 people making 150K and down, then you raise the next one. As more money comes in, well, guess what? You don't have to borrow money anymore for it, because you don't have to borrow money from the Federal Reserve anymore. Federal Reserve is going away. People haven't seen it. Maybe they're not noticing it, but the Federal Reserve is going to be gone. Trump will end it. The IRS is going to go away. We'll have the Internal Revenue Service gone. The External Revenue Service will live on. And this is how the country will be. So you can't have a golden age with living under a system of debt, a debt instrument from the Federal Reserve. That's not going to work. And what happens when we actually do an audit? We see the massive amounts of fraud. Well, it doesn't look like anybody will be getting paid back anytime soon if you're committing fraud and you're ripping off the United States and you're ripping off everything else. Elon Musk was in an interview recently, and he was talking about these magic money machine computers that just print money. They just send money. They just make it up and they print it and they send it. These magic money machines, he called it, and money computers, and they're just printing money and they're just printing payments, sending a payment here, sending a payment there. Complete fraud. The whole thing is, you always wonder about everything's a false flag. Everything is manufactured. At its heart, people are pretty genuine, but most of the time when you start digging and going down rabbit holes, you start feeling like, geez, is everything manufactured by the state? Is everything manufactured? Is everything wag the dog? Pretty much. If you start looking under, you start seeing exactly how these things pan out. It's almost exactly what we could imagine from time and time again. It's insane. Tom Homan, there's a little short clip on Tom Homan, but somebody was criticizing the fact that the Enemies Act or whatever it was from the 1700s, 1800s. Somebody was saying, oh my God, that's so old. I can't believe that Trump's doing that. Well, Tom Homan, who's the border czar and an absolute badass, had this to say.
To those who claim you're using a 200-year-old law to circumvent due process.
An old law? Not as old as the Constitution. We still pay attention to that, don't we?
So there you go. Yeah, it's not as old as the Constitution. We still pay attention to that. What an absolute badass. I don't care. It's moving so fast. It's moving so well. I mean, we've almost gotten used to like, hey, not enough's being done. We're looking at Trump was inaugurated on January 20th, okay? Now, last time I checked, today's March 22nd. We're talking about 60 days, roughly. 2 months. Trump is 2 months in. Look at the amount of winning. He picked all the people. They're in position, right? You got Kash Patel over at the FBI. You got Tulsi Gabbard. You got RFK Jr., right? Everybody's in position, and they're like, well, what are they doing? How come? What's taking so long? Well, first of all, you got to root out the people in government, which is like 60% of them, which are evil. They're going to be constantly, bucking the new management called Donald J. Trump. So you got to like put that at ease. We got a lot of good things coming, but we've almost got conditioned here that we need more stuff. Every day there's winning. Every day they're cutting something. Every day there's something new that's happening. But we want to be able to be in a scenario where we want to have this freedom. Now, what's great about what's happening in the U.S. is it's going to spread. It's going to spread like wildfire. It's going to go because we're already starting to see it, right? We already started to see this kind of bubbling up happening, right? We saw it with Bukele down in El Salvador, right? We saw it with Malay down in Argentina, right? We see it in parts of Germany where you've got the resistance party rising up and saying, no, we're getting rid of these people that don't believe in German ideals and German culture. Got to go. Listen, if I want to go to Germany, I want to endure German culture, right? But why is that such a big issue? Rogan recently was talking about Poland. How come Poland can't preserve Polish tradition? Because why? Why can't they preserve Polish tradition? But the Chinese can preserve Chinese tradition. Japan can preserve Japanese tradition, right? But of course, you get called every name in the book for wanting to preserve your culture. It's an absolute mystery to me, and we're starting to see these ideals spread. We're seeing upheaval that's happening in France, and look what's happening in the UK with Keir Starmer. I mean, I feel like very soon a lot of these faces will be gone. They'll be gone. We'll have some new management in, and there'll be something very brand new that we won't have to worry about anymore. I think that might be all I have for today. Let me see. Is there anything else? I think some of this stuff we'll move to tomorrow that I wanted to talk. I wanted Jeff to chime in on, but I think that was pretty much all I had. Yeah, I think that was it. That was it for today, guys. So I will bid thee farewell. We will continue this conversation tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, and that's all that I have. So congratulations to the two big winners for the Yetis. We gave away 2 Yetis today. We're expecting to give away 1, but we gave away 2. So come back tomorrow night, win for a chance to win a badass Yeti, and that'll be good. Let's see, when your motor, Bodie, you have to take a breath every now and again. Damn right you do. You're damn straight you do. Trump's people pacifier. Trump's only doing what he's being told to do. Every puppet has run for president, been controlled by the Fed. We'll see. We'll see. You can say he will be controlled by the Fed. I don't see him being controlled by the Fed. I see him attacking the Fed nonstop. And he'll be the one to disband the Fed. Has to do it. Has to do it. The only way to travel. And if you think Trump's being controlled, why would he be controlled? You can't blackmail the guy. The guy's, he's been shot. They almost try to kill him twice. And who knows? They might be successful one of these times. But there's a long line of people that are willing to take it's a different day, man. It's a different time. It's a different space. You could say the globalists. Trump doesn't give a shit about that. Trump can't be controlled. Trump lost 25% of his net worth when he left the presidency the first time around. That's not a guy that you don't control. The reason they want to take him out, the reason they hate him is because he can't be controlled. You got to pay attention. You got to wake up. You got to look at what's reality versus what's the fake dream in your head. But that's why you can't take a guy like that down. And he's not going to compromise. He's doing it for the future of the country. He's doing it for legacy. First one wasn't the best term ever, trying to get the lay of the land. He knew that this 2020 would be stolen. He telegraphed it 6 months ahead. And the only way to do it was to let the people feel it and then let the people get behind them. Because otherwise, you still need the people to be behind you. You still need the majority. You still need a mandate in order to get things done. And even with all that, it's still going to be a difficult road because you have lots of rhinos, you have lots of Democrats that are going to be against it. But what they're really against is stuffing their own pockets with money. And when you get rid of that, you start prosecuting some of these. When we start finding out where these kickbacks are coming from, then we will absolutely be able to see what's been going on. So I can't wait till they start tracing the payments. And the funny thing about it is, in the first Trump administration, it wouldn't have been possible. None of this would be, it's so convoluted, the payment system, and it goes to this thing, and then this thing makes payments to this. But you know what? Change the game? AI. AI can track the payments, can create the relationships, can do stuff of thousands of people couldn't figure out in a small period of time, but AI is doing it. If you look at some of the stuff that's being done right now, there's some people out there that are doing amazing work with AI and finding where the payments are and creating relational databases that can track the payments and understand how they work together. The AI will be the downfall of the deep state and also will take out many, many politicians. I expect a lot of them to go away, a lot of them to retire, a lot of them to resign in disgrace, but probably end up going to doing some kind of jail time as well, because there are a lot of them are getting kickbacks. So we may have a lot of new faces in Congress pretty soon. We'll see. But that's what we got. That's all we have today. So all the roads lead to Rome. There you go. That's all I have, guys. We will see you guys on the next one. Let me go ahead and get my outro ready here. Where is it? There it is. And guys, come back tomorrow night. We'll do another show. We got some more videos to play. Some things we didn't get to, which is we're going to talk about Trump and some of the things he said about cryptocurrency. And we'll talk about Garlinghouse, some thoughts he had as well. Some videos. We'll play those tomorrow night because I want to get Jeff's reaction to them as well. That's all we have. Chip and Jeff. Oh, see you guys in the next one. Chip out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.